I ain't got no car to take you on a date. I can't even buy you flowers. Maybe I'll start doing song of the day. The Way I Are by Timbaland. Absolute banger. Y'all need to put some respect on Timbaland. That dude is a quintessential rap music and hip hop producer. Him and Justin Timberlake might be one of the greatest duos of all time. I'm not even joking. If y'all are sleeping on Justin Timberlake, get off that. Wake up. You're missing so many good songs. It's actually insane how many amazing songs were produced by Timbaland, or just all the good songs that even Justin Timberlake had. Like, he had songs produced by Pharrell Williams too. Insane. Dude had a generational run. His music is phenomenal. Mirrors. It's another goated song. I absolutely love music. I'm very glad that I started listening to hip hop because of my dad. Because I truly can't ever see myself listening to any other genre of music. Obviously, I have playlists of, you know, the early 2000s bangers and anything that's not rap. I do have a non-rap playlist. So I'm not uncultured. I got plenty of good non-rap music, but my just go-to is rap or hip-hop, because that's what my dad introduced to me. Listening to Slow Jams by Kanye when I was a kid, or LL Cool J, even some early Lil Wayne. Can never forget those days. One of my dad's favorite songs, it was like his ringtone on his phone for a while, was Whatever You Like by T.I. So that song just playing every time someone someone called him was nostalgic. And we'd always listen to that album in general. Dead and Gone, another banger song with yours truly, Justin Timberlake. Put some respect on his name. One of my favorite songs as a kid when I, first started growing, I think I was in maybe 5th grade when it came out, was Day and Night by Kid Cudi. That was one of my favorite songs as a kid. It was like one of the only ones I owned on an iPod. My little blue iPod shuffle. The butterfly effect too of listening to that stuff when I was a kid to now. Now it's like it's something that just is a huge part of my life that I cannot live without. I'll go on phases of listening to like heavy metal, or usually rock or heavy metal is my go-to like workout stuff. But for the most part, always rap. And even then, a lot of the times I'm listening to rap when I'm working out. It's just if I'm doing heavy lifting, I'll switch to the metal because it's more hype beasty. Not hype beast, but more hype or rage inducing to listen to rock or heavy metal. Nothing like doing leg press with 6 plates on each side to fucking Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. That shit hits hard. That's my kind of leg day workout playlist. Or even some old SmackDown vs. Raw soundtrack songs. Those are basically what my entire workout playlist of like rock and metal, most of it, I would say 90% of it came from fucking SmackDown vs. Raw, because that game just had amazing songs on their soundtracks. It's not even close. That's probably got to be some of the best soundtrack choices of all time. Next to the early 2Ks, 2K19 might go down as one of the best 2K soundtracks. 23 and 24 were pretty good as well, but something about 19 was just, it had so many good bangers. Had fucking Mike Jones, The Pharaoh, SOB and RBE, Travis Scott. God, it literally had Mo Bamba and Sicko Mode when those were fucking huge back then. Stargazing. It had Game Over or Flip, if any of you guys know that song. That's another song that my dad used to play all the fucking time. It was a good, like, throwback. So many, like, old classic songs that were in that playlist. And even some good ones for the time. It had Dark Knight Demo, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. Sauce It Up. Insane. Literally an insane soundtrack. God, I wish I can go back and play that again. Play that for the first time. Something about loading up 2K and when you're going in the menu and then Sauce It Up starts fading in. That was a different kind of feeling. I know I'm one of those guys. I'll tell you if there's a song I'm listening to, if it came from the FIFA 14 soundtrack, I'm just gonna say it right there. I am one of those guys. That might be, now that I think about it, that might be one of the best soundtracks I've ever listened to. And that didn't even have hip hop really in it. I don't think at all. I don't think FIFAs really do. They're mostly like alternative stuff. Nothing beats Love Me Again. Insane soundtrack pull. That song is great. Some things you just can't rewrite with history. That shit is insane. And I think it was like the anniversary for Young Thug's Check, like 10 years or something, or 15 years. I don't remember when it came out. But The fact that that's even an anniversary for a song now is kind of sad. Where has my life gone? Right now I'm listening to Power by Young Thug. So much in so little time has just absolutely flown by. Good English. Even the last, I would say, 5 years have absolutely fucking flown. It's hard to believe that COVID was 5 years ago. That's probably the most devastating fact, that just 5 years ago we took 2 weeks off of school for a little sickness, and it fucking catalyzed into this life that I live now. Actually nuts. It's crazy that nothing can prepare you for the things that show up in life. You could literally just be living a normal life, and then all of a sudden the world gets sick by a unique disease, and now your entire life is changed. TikTok exists. Most schools, like, people don't even fucking want to go anymore. It's just all online. You can basically never find a grocery store that's open 24 hours anymore. That's a fucking miracle in the least. When you used to be able to go to Walmart at 2 in the morning and see the most interesting individuals you've ever seen in your life. It's just insane. Insane butterfly effect. So many things have happened in my life over those last 5 years. Stuff that I legitimately never would have guessed. And it just keeps getting fucking crazier and crazier. Shit just doesn't not stop. Life stops for no one, man. God damn. Oh god, I wish I could just go back. I would do it all so differently. There's so many things that I just, even though I couldn't control some of them, there were just so many things that I just, had I known the outcomes that would have played from this, would just do it all so differently. I'd go about things way differently. Don't know where it would take me today, but no point in ruminating in it, I guess. Things happen for a reason. You know what? No, I changed my mind. If I had a time machine, I wouldn't change a damn thing. As much as I really, really want things to be different in life, I don't think I can change them. I think they just have to happen. You know, there's a lot of shit things that have happened to me that I probably wish I could go back and change, but I wouldn't be standing here today if they didn't happen. So maybe everything, as shitty as it may be, still has to happen for a reason. I think just accepting what is instead of missing what was is kind of a huge part in my growth right now. It's not easy, and I'm definitely not exactly fully there yet. I'm still stuck in what was and what could have been, and it's taken forever to get through this, but I know I will, because I have every single time. It might just take way longer than normal because I cared a lot more. I was a different person than I have been. So I am going about this a lot differently because I feel a lot different than I ever have before. So there's a lot to learn and a lot to go through. Just gotta do it. Gotta suck it up and push through. Things will never get better unless I decide that I want them to be better. As long as I just keep listening to music and, you know, doing the things that make me happy, I'll get through this. I gotta pick the right music because, you know, memories. When it comes to me listening to music, I will always have memories and parts of my life attached to the songs. So I gotta be careful which songs I choose to, you know, mark this era of my life, because it might completely destroy my vision for this song, or, you know, make it a what's the bittersweet kind of thing. I think bittersweet is probably the reality that all of these songs are going to turn out to be, and I got a lot that really are entrapped in this part of my life. So yay. A lot of really good songs too, but a lot of the songs that I used to listen to back in high school got ruined for that part of high school, but now when I listen to it, it's a bittersweet, so I'll appreciate it later. I might not now, but I will. Nostalgia is an insane drug, I'm gonna be honest. Whether it's good nostalgia or sad nostalgia, that's something that I'm insanely addicted to. That's gotta be the worst addiction I have, is going back to nostalgic things. Whether it's good or not, I'm legitimately always trying to find that feeling again. I don't know why. I think I have a huge issue with letting go of things, honestly. I think that's my biggest struggle, is to let go of things. I'm not like a hoarder, but I definitely keep a lot of shit that I shouldn't for like longer than I need to. I'll keep clothes that my parents bought me or something when I was in middle school, and I'll still keep it because I feel bad that I'd be getting rid of it because my parents bought it for me. Or I'll be like, well, what if I do wear it at some point? It's a really bad attachment, and I have to learn how to get rid of things that no longer serve me. That's my big internal problem. I hate letting go. I don't like giving up. I really don't. It took me a while because I was someone that would just give up on everything. I used to be a huge quitter. So once I break through that, it's now a point where everything feels like I have to just give it my all and never quit. But that also just doesn't benefit me at all because it keeps me trapped in situations that are so far just not benefiting me, and I'll just stay in it for longer than I need to because I don't want to let go, and I gotta stop that. That's gonna kill me. Gonna be quite devastating. It has been devastating, honestly. It has hurt me so badly by just not letting go. So I'll be working on that. That's my personal growth for this period, is learning to let go. Sometimes I'll tell myself that I've let go of a situation, but I know fucking deep down I haven't. Used to be the grudge master. I'd remember the fucking most evil shit, because if you did me wrong, I basically would never let you forget that. I've moved past that, which I'm happy about. I'm not as much of a person that holds on to grudges as deeply as I used to. You don't fucking get anywhere by doing that. You actually are just stuck in the fucking time. And the sad thing is that if you like really dislike the person and you're holding a grudge on them, you're basically letting them win the long run because you're still thinking about something that I guarantee that they don't give a shit about or don't think about. So why hang on to it, really? Which I know it's difficult because guess what? It's about letting go. And I fucking can't do that for some things. I'm trying to learn. It just ain't easy. Nothing in life is easy. A lot of people chase easy, and that's a fucking really dangerous trap to go down. Don't chase what's easy. Especially, the biggest victim of that is honestly relationships. A lot of people chase the easy shit because they don't want to put in the work for what an actual healthy situation is. So if things get a little bit rocky, they're more likely to leave and go for something easy where they don't have to put in that effort. Sometimes it's because they're not used to it and they don't know what it's like, so they think someone or a situation that requires effort is bad because they think it should all be rainbows and joy at all times, when that couldn't be far from the truth. It's part of growth. If you are someone that's like that, you'll learn the hard way, as with everything in life. I used to be the same way. Trust me, I used to, as soon as I was in a relationship with someone that actually cared about me and stuff, bounced every time. I would dip. I would say that I'm just not ready for a relationship, or that, what else was my BS excuse back then? A lot of the times I would just leave because I would say I need to focus on myself. That's a big banger. The biggest fucking lie of all time. I just basically never liked losing my independence, and it really sucks because I used to think that my independence was something so amazing, and it was like my whole personality was that I like to do things by myself, but it's rooted in a deep layer of just not wanting to be alone. It's the most stupid shit ever, but basically I was like that, where I would be so afraid to lose my independence that when I would get something close to commitment, I would leave, and I would just say that, like, this is not what I want. This is like, I don't think I could do this forever, but it's mostly because I had some unhealed trauma, I guess, of, God, what really was it? Like, I didn't want to ever be alone, but for some reason I just couldn't commit, and I really don't know why. And I completely switched on that this last year, basically, because just before, I would say in 2021 and 2022, I would have been so scared of commitment that I wouldn't have locked down for anyone. And then the 2022 version of me learned that it's okay to be committed to someone, and in fact, it's something that I deeply wanted, so I should have basically not pushed away all the people that wanted the same thing, because it also was a fear of rejection, as fucking sad as it is, where I figured I would leave first so that I didn't get left. Like, how stupid is that? How backwards logic is that? If you guys think like that, best thing you could do is honestly seek therapy, but ask yourself why, deep down, why you like to leave, or why you always leave in situations that you really have no reason to. Because if you're out here like fault finding and just trying to find excuses to leave, deep down there is something wrong. And it's got to be a fear of either commitment or rejection. Because if you're hyper independent and you think that you want everything everything in your life to be a solo act. It's not healthy. Like, yes, you need to have your independence, you need to not be codependent, but there's a difference between independence and hyper-independence. Hyper-independence is when you just physically just get, like, it's revolting thinking about doing anything with another person, which, and that goes down to, like, expressing yourself or talking about problems. That's where it becomes a problem. That's when the hyper-independence takes over and it's not a healthy issue anymore, and it's actually a detriment. Because you like to think that, oh, everything has to be solved by me because I'm the only one that can help me with my problems. So you'll most likely be a stonewaller. If you're in conflict, you'll probably shut down and not say anything because maybe back then you opened up about stuff and it was shut down. So now you feel like, oh, I'll just never do it again. Unhealthy. Get out of that. Remove that thought. It's okay to open up to people. You might get burned, but you can't just shut down because you think you're trying to protect yourself, but you end up hurting someone else that doesn't deserve it. So if you can erase that negative thought of that opening up is scary and that, you know, it's your problem, so you got to deal with it, you'll be happier because I used to stonewall too. I used to, you know, be the I just don't know what you want me to say, or I just have nothing to say kind of person, because I was afraid to open up because I had never been able to, because it seemed like every single time I would open up about stuff, I would get dismissed, or it'd be like it would just get put aside like it didn't matter. So I felt like I can never actually fully open up about how I was feeling or what was going on. And it's such a bad spot to be in. You feel so lonely, truly. You feel like you just have nobody because nobody will listen to you. And that was the switch that happened internally for me. Was I knew that it just wasn't okay to feel this way, so I made a vow to stop doing that and to make sure that no one else felt that way. So even when I was dealing with the stonewaller, I tried my best to make them feel safe to open up, and I made sure that no matter what they opened up to me about, I wouldn't throw it back in their face, because that's just how you ruin good people. Everybody's got issues, guys, and they're not gonna go away. Like, things are just always gonna be there. Nothing is perfect in life, so if you can accept that and be at a spot where you're able to say, okay, like, I'm able to just hear you out, life could be dream. There's so many good things with being able to open up to someone and to be able to have, like, adult conversations and not be afraid of opening up. It's a freeing moment when you are someone who used to stonewall and then you finally feel like you can open up and express yourself. Because again, coming from a fucking meathead stonewaller that I once was, you know, the men never talk about their feelings. Blech. Get that shit out. It's so dumb. The toxic masculinity stuff, or the, you know, suck it up, be a man shit, like, some of it is true, but the fact where you just are like, oh, I'm never gonna open up to another woman because the last one did me wrong. Shut up. My God. Be a fucking man and talk about your feelings. How about that? Yeah, some people are just emotionally unavailable, or they haven't healed themselves, so they think being empathetic or having the ability to express how you're feeling is a fucking weakness, when it's actually a strength. Being able to look at yourself and say, okay, this is a problem, this is what this is how it's affecting me, and how can I solve it? That's probably the most strength you can have as an individual, instead of saying like, oh no, I'm upset, I guess woe is me, too bad, I'm not gonna do anything to solve it. Like, why? Why would you just bottle it up and make the situation 100 times worse? It just doesn't make sense to me. You don't gain anything from holding in your like emotions and stuff, and in fact it'll make things worse, because when you push things down, it's like a what's a good analogy? What can I think? Like, have you ever had like an inflatable ball in a pool, and the further you push it down, the harder it gets, and then eventually it just shoots up to the top and goes really fucking high? That's basically what happens when you bottle up emotions, is that eventually the further you push it down, the further it's gonna fucking fly up, because you're just stuffing all this shit down, and it's gotta go somewhere, because it's like you're sticking something that's not supposed to sink further underwater, trying to force it to sink, and then eventually you're gonna run out of, or you're gonna get tired, or you're just gonna let it go, and then congratulations, all that shit that you stuffed down there is now gonna erupt to the top. And that's way harder to handle than just facing the emotions head on. And maybe for those of you that have the stonewalling kind of characteristic, I'm sure the main thing that you guys are not aware of is just how shitty it feels to talk to someone who stonewalls, because that is dog shit when you're on the receiving end of it. That is the ultimate invalidation of feelings right there, is dealing someone that supposedly is listening to you but completely checks out of what you're saying and truly actually doesn't give a fuck, because everything seems like an attack to them, or you know, they feel like you're just like insulting them, or what's the other word I'm looking for? They think you're critiquing them or criticizing. That's the one, criticizing. When you're dealing with a stonewaller, all they ever feel is criticism, because that's what I thought too. Every time someone brought up the fact that like, oh hey, I don't like when you just don't respond to me at all when I'm saying that something you did upset me or hurt me. It feels like fucking penis water, bro, being on the receiving end of that. And I didn't know, because I was on the end of the stonewaller, so I didn't know what it felt like to just, I thought it was just not a big deal. And I was like, just trust me that there's nothing I have to say, even though there were so many things that I wanted to say but just couldn't, because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe to express those emotions because of the way I was raised and the way my family dynamic was when it comes to shit like that. And that's not fair, because guess what? The fucking person that I'm talking to didn't raise me, so why am I throwing a fit and punishing them for something that they had no control over? All life is just a journey of lessons, except you just have to be able to understand what the lesson is before you can even grow as a person. Because if you're still stuck wondering why all these things keep happening to you, and you haven't sat there and fucking looked in your own self to find what the problem is, then it's gonna be a rough life. It really is. Shit is not gonna go anywhere with you if you just keep saying, why is this happening to me, instead of looking at why it did happen. Because like, at first I was wondering, why did this situation happen to me with the way my relationship ended? But I mean, the fucking reality of it is I knew all along, because I did the exact same shit that she did to me, but with other people. I got my get back with karma. Karma came full fucking circle with that, and it hurt. So I just basically made that decision to where I'm not gonna do this shit again to people, because it ain't fair, man. It feels so bad being on the receiving end of someone who just leaves for no reason and finds faults because they think the grass is greener on the other side, when it's fucking impossible. And it never is. If you guys ever are in a situation where you think, unless you're being abused, again, exceptions to every rule as always, but if you're ever in a situation or a relationship with people that really fucking care about you, and you for some reason think that the grass could be greener or that you can find better, karma will kick you in the fucking ass, because you will not find better a lot of the time. And you'll come back wishing that things were different, or you'll come back apologizing to the people that you burned in the past. Raising my hand, guilty as fucking charged. No matter what, like, if you have this kind of attachment where you're sitting there and things are good and you're just like, I'm not happy. I have no reason to not be, but something ain't it. And then you fucking leave. Karma will bite you in the ass, or you'll end up regretting it later, every single time. And it's coming from experience. It's not coming from a pace. It's not coming from a place of what's like animosity because I had this shit happen to me right now. It's legitimately coming from a place of understanding, because I was once in that position. And that's unfortunately how I became empathetic of a lot of things and understanding of things that I really shouldn't have, is because I knew where it was coming from. And it's kind of a dangerous place to be, honestly, when you are understanding of people that don't want to be understood. That's a reality kicks in hard on that too. Some people don't want to be understood. So you don't always have to try to be the good person. It feels good and you feel like you're doing the right thing, but sometimes it ain't gonna work out because those people just don't want to be, can't save someone that doesn't want to be saved. Nobody wants to be saved, honestly. Real talk. She don't want to be saved, don't save her. It's also just, it's part of just having a heart, honestly. When you're able to go through experiences and turn it around to be empathetic and try to see things from their side because you went through it. Like, it's a good thing to have, but it also just really bites you in the ass, unfortunately, because you think you're doing the right thing by sticking by someone and trying to show them that you understand. But a lot of people don't want to be understood, and it's an internal battle with them. It's never anything to do with you. As long as you weren't a piece of shit person, it's all about them. They're just trying to find something to get rid of you because they can't actually find a real reason. Because if you're just a good person and you're doing everything that you should be doing, they're just gonna find something because for some reason, it's scary to them. Again, I was in that situation, so I would just fault find and try to find every small thing that would bug me so that I could find an out. And, you know, you end up regretting it because it's been a struggle trying to find someone that actually cared to that level. And that's what I'm learning. That's where I'm eating my words. That's how life is, unfortunately. All lessons. Very few people are lucky and get the opportunity to have that sweet, or the first chance where they find someone and that's the person that they end up being with for the rest of their life. Lucky. It really is. Too many people got problems nowadays, man. You all got issues. You just gotta want to fix them. That's really it. You don't want to get stuck in the mindset of thinking that this is how you are and this is how you'll always be. Just realizing that you can make a difference and you can change and you'll be a lot happier. You'll free yourself, truly. It's a different type of feeling, honestly, when you like have an issue deep down within yourself that you solve. Feels real good. I have never been to therapy. I should, to be honest. Should go to therapy. I just don't know any good therapists, or really, yeah, that's pretty much it. Kind of scared to be honest, but I know I need to. I just haven't. Maybe that's my next goal this year, is to start therapy and see where that takes me. I'll always recommend it because I know it's a really good place to actually discover a lot about yourself. Nobody is too self-aware for therapy, to be honest, or at least in my opinion. I'm a really self-aware individual, but I know that there's still some things that I'm probably unaware of that it would take someone like a therapist to bring that to the light. So I'm open to it. I'm not opposed. I just gotta basically do it. Gotta find the therapist or the therapy office, whatever the hell you fucking call it, and go do it. I'm really curious on how it would go, actually, because I've never done something like that. So always told I don't need it and that it's not good. I'll add that to my 25 resolution, along with, you know, YouTube and self-love. Basically, I need to get my savings back up to where it used to be. I started to fold and not go, and I started to go against my saving habits when I wasn't doing okay. Lost a lot of money, and I gotta rebuild it, but I unfortunately don't have the ability to rebuild it as quickly as I did before. So it does unfortunately suck, but it'll take a bit. So goals for me this year are to get better mentally, maybe make this YouTube channel go somewhere further with this new style, and maybe get my physical shape up. Not too sure, but that's kind of, I think, where I'm gonna conclude the video. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.